Okay, it's week 4 and time to start thinking about your third paper of the semester, which is the response essay. After summary, the most common writing in college is the response. Professors often assign these as informal ways of checking to see if students are reading the assignments. Responses give you the opportunity to express your opinion on the topic covered by an article or book. Response is the second way of reading and interacting with texts that we're practicing this semester. For this paper, you will write a response to one of the following: the coddling of the American mind, why I use trigger wordings, is Google making us stupid, or why can't we read anymore? To prepare, you'll be reading 3 ways to respond from They Say, I Say, which should give you some tips about how to respond in a way that adds value to the conversation. Let me give you some advice about how to set up and structure your paper. Your introduction should start with an objective and brief summary of your chosen text. At the end of the introduction, transition to your response and provide a thesis statement, indicating whether you agree, disagree, or both. We will discuss thesis statements in more detail in another lecture. I like to provide formulas or scripts to help students figure out how to write thesis statements that are clear and provide the necessary information. For your summary, begin with the formula that looks something like this. In X article, Y author argues, ... Basically, I want you to introduce the author and article title before you do anything else. For your thesis statement, use some form of a thesis statement that looks like this. I agree or disagree with Z point in X article because A, B, and C reasons. When you get to setting up the body paragraphs of your paper, follow the reasons introduced in your thesis so that the A, B, and C reasons correspond with the different paragraphs. You don't have to have 3. It can be 2 or 4 or however many you need, but that's just a good way to show how to set things up. We will be practicing filling in the body paragraphs, and I will suggest that you use the 3X strategy of building paragraphs using exposition, example, and explanation. I will be giving a separate lecture on that too. Here's a pro tip. Your opinion matters. Take a confident stance. You are as worthy as the original author, and you stand on equal ground. And you can fake it till you make it if you don't feel confident. That said, one thing to avoid is ranting. But sometimes the difference between ranting and argument isn't super clear. What do you think is the difference? Although tone and style contribute to the difference between ranting and argument, evidence or proof is the most important distinction. Good arguments refer to quality evidence. So, for this response, your opinion should be supported with credible, logical reasoning. Personal experience is acceptable evidence to use as long as it's persuasive and credible. Another pro tip: keep your arguments focused on the actual positions taken by the author you're responding to. Sometimes students end up arguing against a stereotype of the author's position, rather than the specific thing that the author said. Look out for that. As always, and also please use your quote sandwiches. I want to see you practicing the skills we're learning in class. And as always, you can look at the grading guide on the assignment page on Moodle. It looks something like this. The nuts and bolts of this paper are the same as usual. 6 pages, worth 6, 2 pages, worth 6 points, due Sunday. Okay, time to get to work. Happy responding.